Hello and welcome everybody to the first ever episode of Off the Pitch. This is a podcast where we are going from the left end of the pitch to the right end of the pitch, one all the way coast to coast, where my name is Kevdog and we are meeting with some of the best and top talent in the Rocket League and esports scene. And today we have one of my good friends, DJTJ. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. It's a pleasure to be here to kick this whole thing off. I'm excited to see what you got cooking, and it's a pleasure to be the first guest.
I mean, dude, we have known each other for quite some time, and let me just go through some of your accolades real quick. Just a very small on a very long list of accolades. I mean, you were a TEDx speaker. You're also a keynote speaker at the Scholastic Awards, I believe, coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah, keynote number 5 to end off Saturday. So they got me right before the awards.
Oh, wow. That's amazing right there. But you're also the director of the esports program at the University of Georgia, Athens. And then, of course, you're a Rocket League creator and caster, which we're going to touch on just coming up in a moment.
Yeah, I definitely wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Every time that I've ever done one of these and just sit down and talk about my career, it always goes in a million different directions. So yeah, you just let me know who we're going to start and we'll get things moving. I guess.
I feel like there's no better way to start than the very beginning. How did you get into esports? How did you get into this DJTJ persona? Because obviously your name is TJ Stevens, right?
Yes.
Where did DJTJ come from? Like, did you were into music? Like, what was going on there?
Well, yeah, so everybody normally guesses that right on the nose.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was in 8th grade, and I started picking up music production. So, yes, so I know how to make a beat here and there. Unironically, I've always toyed with my community about doing like a Playboy Mac style stream to see what happens.
Oh, no.
I'm not that good. But either way, yeah. So
we ain't gonna
started
see
picking up.
No pyro behind you, nothing like that. You're not going to see no fist bumping on stream.
Yeah, so picked up the a little obsession in music late middle school, and that's where DJTJ came from, and it obviously rolls off the tongue beautifully. Looks good in logos.
Fair play.
And then from there, I joined my high school esports team. Surprisingly, not my freshman year. I talked about this in my TED Talk, but my freshman year, I was still a very traditional sports kid from a traditional sports household. So Rocket League as a sport wasn't exactly a concept that I was willing to take in originally.
Yeah.
But then throughout my freshman year, I saw what the esports team at my school did. I saw they made states. I heard about it, got to watch them play a little bit. And then that opened my eyes to RLCS. And then from there, it's kind of just been history. And so my sophomore year, I joined. Later that kind of, not technically semester, but later that school year, I ended up taking over the program. I was the student leader, technically student president, even though it's a high school program. Yeah. So I took over with our coach, shout out Coach Lilly. And then we made 4 consecutive state finals in 3 years. And we ended up winning the last 2, and then a national championship after that. So that kicked off everything.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, I've known you for quite a while. I know you are one hell of a Rocket League player, but from high school to college, what's differing about it? Is it just mentality wise? Is it the mindset, or is it genuinely a completely different level of Rocket League?
So, okay. Yeah. So from a Rocket League perspective, there's a lot more unexpected in collegiate because there's a lot more schools, there's a lot more leagues, there's schools that will only play in NECC, and then you'll play them in one-off LAN, and they'll come stomp your B team and then stomp you. It's wild the way that the kind of the Wild West of CRL is, especially right now after the All EU CRL Open 1 final that we just got to watch.
I'm happy about it because those 3 of them, no. Yeah, 3 of them are my players, so I'm happy about it. All 3, Speed, Relating Wave, Arju, all of them on Battalion's roster I'm managing. But when it comes to CRL, you think you have Northwood, Akron, and all those other teams, Maryville and St. Clair. I mean, 2 really good teams.
You got to give Daniel and you got to give Sean their credit.
Absolutely.
Daniel is easily top 3 directors in the nation right now for what he's been able to do at Maryville and take that school to, if we're all being frank, I would have never known Maryville existed. And well, same thing with Northwood too.
Yeah.
And then they build an esports program, and now they're bringing more people into their school. They're bringing sponsorship deals to their school. I mean, a McDonald's local
Oh
sponsorship
yeah.
deal, like that is just out of left field. And I know Maryville's up in St. Louis. That's a good market. That's a hard market
Yeah.
to find their way in. So, anyways, a little off topic, but yes, love those programs. Very talented programs.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many different programs in collegiate esports and also just statewide as well. I mean, one of the programs was more of an organization for you, but it kind of helped you get into this collegiate ambassador where you are kind of at. The organization was Ghost Gaming. How did you join them? How did you meet them and stuff like that?
Yeah, so shout out Todd Harris. So Todd is incredible. Todd has made kind of a mini empire of sorts in the state of Georgia, in
Yeah.
the Southeast. He's formerly from High Res. That's where a lot of people know him from, is his work on Smite, which he was easily one of the biggest moving pieces in Smite and its success and the Pro League as well. So Todd's a super experienced dude, a really good mentor, and also just a good like boss in
Yeah.
general. So coming out of high school, I had a mentor from Forsyth County. That's my home county. PK Greff, who is up for a Scholastic Esports Award. He is up for the Administrative Ally Award in the K-12 section. So he is one of my main mentors, basically my main mentor as of right now. And he met Todd, connected with Todd, brought up Scholastic Esports from K through Collegiate. And Todd loved the idea. And so me and PK met at a cafe that was right next to my high school. We met like 3-4 times. We fleshed out this Collegiate Ambassador program because Todd showed interest in it. And then we pitched it. And next thing I know, they not only made the program, but then they let me be the lead on it. So PK is director of the Ghost Gaming Academy, but for me, they let me be the lead on the ambassador program itself. So 18 years old, getting involved in a professional org like that, especially in state in Georgia,
Yeah.
that was incredible. And it was a huge part in getting my name out there to start. I still remember tweeting that out, and I think that being my first like banger tweet was when I said I joined Ghost. So that's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. Ghost has done a lot. They've been in the Rocket League scene before. They dropped out, I think, around 2020, 2021. However, then
like early 2022, right when I joined.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, so I remember seeing that announcement being like, they're coming back. No way. Oh my God, they're going to be coming back. Obviously they didn't, but then of course they still did so much for Rocket League, and they still were a part of the Rocket League scene, hosting lands like the SEL as well. I believe they were a part of SEL, correct? Or no?
We're not a part of SEL. They were a part of GEL.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. So Georgia Esports League.
Yes.
Ghost was a part of that. They did host a few lands. SEL is a separate thing. I do work in that as well.
Yeah. There's so many leagues, and then there's so many acronyms for them as well.
So many
Sometimes
ECCs, I do get ELs. Yeah.
SEC, TEC. Yeah. But no. So with Ghost Gaming, you went on to elevate your career to heights I don't even think you even imagined. I mean, you were able to go to so many different lands, such as Dreamhack and stuff, and MomoCon as well, two of which you were able to host a LAN at of your own. What goes into hosting a LAN? What was that experience like, and kind of like what was the payoff almost?
Yeah. So yeah, all right. So those lands, because it was a process. I got to start from like kind of back up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I got to go to DreamHack since 2022. Ghost has paid for my ticket for 2022 and 2023, and then I got a creator badge, and then obviously ran the collegiate event in 2024.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. And then for MomoCon, I actually had never been to MomoCon before hosting the LAN in 2024. And obviously, again, I got a badge to get in from MomoCon themselves. So that was awesome. So, all right, early stuff. So in my hometown, we're slowly trying to build this little empire of graduates from the high schools who've gone on to do incredible things.
Okay.
So you have, not to sit here and like stroke my own ego, but you got me, you've got DJ Frat, who is my co-director for the MomoCon event and my co-director for the DreamHack event. Yeah. And then you got Ryan Vincent, that's Buddy RV, who's a very, very talented content creator.
Absolutely.
In Georgia State. So that right there is like our trio from our home county. And so with that, we've always been held to a standard to go the extra mile, to ask, and then, like, don't be afraid of no's, obviously, which that goes without saying, but it's a lot easier said than done. So PK's pushed us to simply throw ourselves out there and see what happens. So luckily, by 2024, over the summer, I had already kind of made a name for myself being a leader in collegiate. That was after the TED Talk. That was after I've taken over the UGA program for 2 years. So whenever DJ went to MomoCon, who is ran and founded by a Georgia Tech alumni, where he's at right now,
Yeah.
the stars just aligned. So DJ got our foots in the door, and then because of his history at Tech, and then my history running a lot of collegiate esports overall. So with MomoCon specifically, me and DJ kind of just threw our hats in the ring, because again, he had the alumni network through the founder of MomoCon who went to Tech, and then MomoCon and Dreamhack use the same PC like renting company. They work through Space Time Strategies, which is an incredible group of people. Love those guys and girls. They do an incredible job. I know Icy Chiller was hired as a TO by them at Dreamhack. He's awesome. But I haven't seen him in person, and we miss each other at like 4 lands.
Oh my God.
So finally getting to see each other and do all that, that was awesome. But yeah, so the stars aligned perfectly because we had the alumni, we had Space Time, who were incredible. The staff loved us. They worked with us. They gave us entire rows, which obviously you saw the setup at MomoCon, and that was an experience. You were also there for the night before, which, my God,
4 a.m. I think we got out at.
Yeah, we spent till Friday night at 4 a.m. going into Saturday. That's how long setup took.
Yeah,
so
then
it
waking
wasn't
up
easy.
just to get to the event at, I think it was 8 a.m. or something.
Yeah,
that was
it
fun.
wasn't easy, that's for sure. But me and DJ knew that, and we were aware that we're not getting paid, that we were doing this for our brand and for collegiate.
Yeah.
And we were both younger in the scene at that time, because that was last summer. So that was just a lot, but it was worth it. I think we knocked it out of the park. MomoCon loved it. We're hoping they're going to bring us back again, and we're going to do things hopefully 2 times bigger, maybe even more than that.
That'd be lovely.
And then from there, talking about Dreamhack, it was a very similar situation. So Chris and Lindsay Postel are incredible people, really, really huge collegiate leaders. And they're both going to also be at this Classic Esports Awards. I mean, shoot, Chris is running the dang show.
What?
Chris is with Esports Foundry, and they're like the main group running this whole thing.
Yeah.
So they are really, really good advocates for the collegiate space. And so whenever Dreamhack rolled around, me and DJ kind of had like a sponsor deck ready to go because we knew that we wanted to go further than just MomoCon with this, further than Atlanta. And so when Dreamhack was coming to Atlanta that December of 2024, right? Was it October or December? I don't remember.
I believe
they keep switching it every year.
No, they do. They really do. I mean,
I want to say it was December.
1 second.
No, October. It was October.
It was October?
First week of October.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not normally that early. So that was weird. That was during midterms. That's why.
Yeah.
So that was even crazier because with midterms and me and DJ both going through that, Dreamhack, I know you stayed up with us till 4. I think we almost pulled an all-nighter Friday night for Dreamhack.
Yeah.
Dreamhack was a lot more. It was also a lot more stressful because we had been in meetings with the marketing team. Joe, love Joe, incredible person. She's one of the marketing leads. Joe and Lindsay had been advocating for Collegiate to return to Dreamhack Atlanta in any capacity because it wasn't there last year, really.
No, it wasn't.
It was done, and I'm not going to sit here and say it wasn't done well, but it wasn't done large. So it went under the radar, which isn't any fault to the organizers. It's just kind of how it went.
Yeah.
Because of the way that the culture around Dreamhack Atlanta and Collegiate has been. So me and DJ, we're glad that we got that spot. And we're glad that Lindsay and Joe put their faith in us because, and again, like I don't want to sit here and stroke my own ego, but I think we ran one of the best lands of the year. I think truly we did.
No, I mean, I've heard a lot about that event as well, specifically from players that played in that Dreamhack land. And everyone was like, yeah, it was ran smoothly. There was rarely any problems. I mean, I think there was one or two
PC issues.
I think there was 1 or 2 PC issues, but overall, like it was a really smooth land. There was communication between all facets of the event as well. And so as far as I'm aware, you guys did a really good job, and also the players want it to come back next year as well. So Dreamhack, if you are watching this somehow, if you are watching this, please bring it back. Do the man a favor, bring it back.
I mean, I'll see Lindsay in 3 days. So
fair enough.
There's hopefully going to be some good odds that we get to return to Dreamhack, or maybe we even get to go to Dreamhack Dallas. I would be thrilled
that would
to
be
do
fun.
what me and DJ did, but in Dallas. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
But either way, So yeah, so that was awesome. Lindsay and Joe stuck their necks out for us, and it worked beautifully. It also helped that Ghost was doing a lot of action there too. So there was a lot of just good Georgia esports involvement at DreamHack Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we all got the space to shine there. And yeah, for me and DJ doing it by ourselves, and we managed to get a full, like, I hate that it was unpaid, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it really showed who the true like lovers of collegiate esports are. The people who do it for the love of the sport.
Yeah.
And we got a full professional casting crew. People like Bepic and Vaudable
Oh,
showed
love
up.
them.
I know Zobi,
Yeah.
Sam Talks, Dexatron. Sleegy came out of retirement
Huh?
to come work DreamHack Atlanta. It was incredible. Yeah, like it was. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
And so I'm very thankful, and the producers as well. We had Garrett, who does a lot of professional work. He's a freelancer. And then we had Ian from Shenandoah.
Yeah.
Which he came from way up north.
I was saying
because his
Shenandoah was
students-
north.
Yeah, his students were working DreamHack.
Oh.
Because Shenandoah had not a deal, but like they sent students
Yeah.
in association with DreamHack to get like the experience, like an internship kind of.
Yeah.
So Ian, we just got him because he was there and he wanted to do it. So
Fair.
like again, like a crew that should cost thousands of dollars and who wanted to work with us for free, like nobody walked out of there making money other than the players.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. And again, like the only issue was the PCs, which isn't a fault to Spacetime Strategies at all, because like they were checking on us consistently. They were making sure that we were staying within the guidelines and like regulations, like no fire marshal like drama or anything like that. And then every time we had a PC that went down, which I think was only like 3 times, they came instantly, they took it out, had a new one ready to go. So they were on the clock and they were hitting it perfectly. So that was just a really, really good spot for me and DJ to be in, and I'm glad that MomoCon got us there, and I'm hoping that now we'll go full circle and we'll run both back and maybe even more.
Yeah, I mean, at any time at DreamHack and MomoCon, were you on the mic as well? Like, maybe not in the host role, but like as a caster, actually watching the game and commentating on that, because you've done that for a very long time now, and there's a difference between hosting and casting, and you've gotten to experience both ends of the spectrum there. So
yes, so it was a funny mix. So I was the host for DreamHack Atlanta. Now, granted, outside of the intros, the outros, and the sponsor reads, I left that up to the casters because I was expecting that I was gonna have to be like the talent crew, because I didn't expect people to volunteer their time for 3 different games and to come. Like for example, like I mean, Artemis came from. Oh, I'm trying to remember, but they flew in like the night before and then had to fly out the morning of Sunday.
Oh, wow.
And still wanted to be there and help. Also, I got to shout out Beautiful Crow as well.
He's amazing.
He was with us at MomoCon.
Yeah.
He was with us in Atlanta. Like he is crucial to what me and DJ have done. So I had to shout out Crow. But anyways, back to the original question. So, yeah, I was expecting to be the host, the caster, everything talent-wise I thought I was going to have to do. But once we started getting names down and we started getting people who committed, I got to back off, which was awesome. Vaudable stepped in, which I didn't expect Vod to come in and show out. So when he did that, that allowed me to step out and let him and Bepic, let him and Hana go to work. Because Hana didn't get to join us for MomoCon, so I'm glad that she got to join us for DreamHack. So I let them go to work, and also I had been running around talking because I was also like the human resources. Like I was managing conversations with coaches, players, programs. So I was also running around handling conversations on tournament format, working with the TOs to coordinate all that. I let DJ just handle like production backend stuff. And he did a great job with that and the sponsorships as well. So I'm glad, but it was also a curse and a blessing because I would have liked to maybe cast and lose my voice that way. Other than I literally was running around screaming. I had to give up one of my spots because I wasn't able to cast Saturday night.
Yeah.
So I let Vod step in for me. And then Sunday morning, me and Bepic had probably our best cast ever. And we got the KSU Bruton Parker Grand Final that went to 7 with a 0-second game winner.
Ooh. Those are dreams made of. That's what dreams are made of.
It was like 7-second game winner. Yes, something like that. It was one of our best casts and one of the best casts I've ever had, like in terms of just how much fun it was. So I did get to cast the important parts that mattered. But a lot of the group stage, like storylining and setup, was done by the incredible caster crew.
Yeah, well, I mean, genuinely, some people do not understand that casters are what create the environment for the event. You can have the best players in the world, but also it could just be the most dead event because they don't have some of them don't have the personality, some of them aren't creating the content. But the casters that create the storylines, what you want to watch, the information you need to understand what is going on, the casters bring all of that. And casting truly is a very underdeveloped part of events that a lot of people just do not put time and effort into.
Yeah, there's a lot of unpaid behind the scenes work that me and DJ have done that I don't expect to be thanked for. But yeah, it's definitely underrated and underappreciated. Luckily, the team, and this was Chris mainly, the team at CEN as well. Love that entire crew, Ashton and Sheridan and all them.
All of them are lovely.
Yeah, so they like really appreciated what we did, and that's how this flag behind me got there. That right there is they custom made based off our logo. They made the Collegiate Dreamhack logo. They threw it on a flag, and then you got all the sponsor logos there, and then you could see marks on it. Those are signatures from everybody from the Collegiate Esports community who showed up. So there's like 70 people on that flag, and that right there is one of my that's one of my prized possessions.
That's amazing.
So major shout out to CEN and Chris for not only showing up and supporting, but also being appreciative.
Yeah.
Because getting that at 20 years old was fairly surreal.
I mean, you've done a lot, and you are only 20 years old, and I mean, let's go through some of the stats real quick. You've hosted 12 LANs. We just spoke about 2 of them being MomoCon and Dreamhack. Then you also have been on 7 RLCS team streams, 1 NA, but 6 SSA as well. So having that representation over in the SSA region. And then you've played at 15 LANs. And you're on a good streak. I mean, you've won 7 of them. That's a really good percentage. More than 99.9% of players could say that they've won 7 out of 15 LANs that they played at. So is there something else in the mix right now that you can officially say, be like, hey, there's one more LAN, we're going to make it 8 for 16 or something like that?
There is, in terms of me playing this year, I don't think so. Unless it's outside of Rocket League, there is a good chance that there may be something in the works for collegiate or college football 25.
Yeah.
There's some conversations about some maybe stuff in the work for NBA 2K. I'm involved in a lot of stuff that I don't talk about. I'll just say that much.
Fair.
I love sports games, so I've been trying to advocate for that space in collegiate for a hot minute now. So I would expect this year to be a year where you're going to see me casting like Madden, FIFA, or EAFC now.
Yeah.
College football, NBA 2K. Like, I love those games. And so I'm hoping I can do a lot of work in there. If I get to play, then you'll see me. I would love to be there. And EA Sports also, like, knew who I was, brought me out, and I won my first debut EA College Football 25 LAN.
At the Mercedes-Benz Arena as well.
Yeah, at Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
Yeah, that's first of all surreal. Again, like you even said, you are 20 years old. You've done so much already, and your career is just even started. You're 5 years deep, but that also doesn't mean that you got 5 years to go. No, this is like 10, 15, 20, 30, it's 60 years to go. I mean, as long as you want to. I feel like DJTJ, you are going to be one of like the biggest people in the collegiate sports scene. Like, I just got to say it because honestly, I do see it, and I think a lot of other people do.
That means a lot. I really hope I can. One of my biggest long-term overarching goals is that I'm majoring in traditional sports for a reason. I would love for my career to be in both traditional sports and in esports, and I would love to be somebody who can merge the two worlds. That right there would be the dream come true.
Yeah.
Whether it's through collegiate or professional or however it may work out. So that's definitely the dream. But yeah, no, it means a lot. And it has been crazy. So to what you said about teasing, there was definitely a few things. Obviously, there's Bluegrass Boost Battle, which I got to host last year. I can confirm that I will be on the staff team once again for Bluegrass Boost Battle. I believe I'm going to be talent director once again, so that should be fun. We're getting some planning done for that soon, so that you'll probably see some announcements out.
Yeah.
I can't confirm about some of the other LANs, but there was a LAN with certain pink and blue colors that was just announced that I was at last year that I will probably be right back on the beach for. So that gives it away. But I should as of right now, I plan to be there, and dates will be announced on that soon. So that's fun. And then there is a few other lands that are kind of secretive. ECAC is a new friend that I've made.
Ooh.
NECC is a group that I love talking with that
Mhm.
also has really stuck their neck out for me. So I don't obviously I don't know what I'm going to be in terms of those realms, but I would love to work another ECAC land. I would
Mhm.
love to work CECC. Obviously, Bass and Danger have a pretty good hold on that for good reason. They
Yeah,
deserve
they're
it.
amazing.
But yeah, but maybe like desk analyst, maybe an analyst in general, maybe a stage
Stage
person.
host, yeah.
Uh, who knows? Who knows? So I'd love to be a part of that, but we'll see. There is a few lands that I'm working on also co-organizing this semester. There's something in Knoxville I may be cooking up
Ooh.
with some of my boys at UTK. But I could go on. There's a lot that is in the works, but there is going to be 3 or 4 lands that you will see me at this year.
Gotcha. I mean, and you're going to be all over the place. And I think something that can be said about being all over the place is you don't know your future regarding one specific avenue that could be very important. You're currently the director of esports at UGA. However, for how long is the question? You're up on the transfer roster. Like, it's the transfer window. You are
That
up.
portal, man.
Yeah, that portal for fall 2025, summer 2025. What are you looking for exactly? Like, if there's any scouts watching this podcast, what are you trying to say to them and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, hey, DJTJ on Twitter. My pinned tweet is my official announcement. I've got all my information linked there. That right there is the TLDR you need to know about me. If you're already listening to this podcast, then you already know more than what's in that tweet. But overall, I really do love UGA. I love Athens. It's a really great place. But if my career wasn't where it was at, I probably wouldn't leave. But I
Yeah.
think given where I stand in my career and also my major being journalism,
Mhm.
I believe that there's opportunities out there for me to be at a program that I don't have to be punished for working outside of school, which is something that not a lot of people talk about or run into because that's just uncommon. But,
Mhm.
because I work in a field that isn't well known, especially here in the SEC, or in the Southeast in general, especially in the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
It's just for me, for example, if I have a class where if I have more than 4 unexcused absences, I have to take a final. And the problem is that I already know that I'm gonna miss 2 Fridays and potentially a Monday for the same LAN over one weekend.
Yeah.
So we're talking about already I'm at 3, not even considering the other LANs that always pop up in the spring.
Yeah.
Not including the one that I'm going to be running right here in Athens as is. So yeah, that's another thing too. Everybody already knows what that is. I can
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
It'll be the 3rd iteration of Dog Hack.
Let's
So that's not a
go.
surprise. Yeah,
It's
Dog Hack is
back.
coming back. This time it will hopefully. We had some very, very unfortunate tech issues last year
Mhm.
to where we had to cancel part of the competition. This year, that issue should be long, long fixed. And we'll hopefully have some great competition here in Athens for once, which will be awesome to see.
Awesome.
But either way, so yes, I'm transferring mainly because I'm not trying to be punished for focusing on my career when I need to, and then also focusing on school when I need to.
Yeah. All right. Well, does that, I mean, having that punishment, as I'm gonna put in quotations because sometimes it can be looked as a punishment, but also look as like a silver lining almost, to where you are able to focus on your degree. However, you do have that career that it's like you're almost living 2 lives, and sometimes that could become rough on the mindset and like your mental health and everything. Have you ran into any issues with your mental health regarding like, hey, I'm trying to do this career, but with UGA, unfortunately, I'm not able to do as much as I would like to, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of internal battles.
Mhm.
Whenever I mean, I could even start from the original. Whenever I took over as a senior in high school and I graduated, and then a month later I was named director of the program, like that right there was enough mental struggle as is because I was trying to learn the city of Athens, which for those of you who have been here, you know it is a mess. You know campus is huge. You know it's one of the biggest in the nation. So trying to get used to that, trying to figure out kind of what I wanted to do in terms of esports, how much I wanted to play, how much I wanted to be a director, what I wanted to do with esports at UGA.
Yeah.
I talked about this on a lot of other podcasts too, but I kind of had to save esports at UGA. Coming out of COVID, like it was 2022 at that point.
Yeah.
Coming out of COVID, they really, really were struggling. So that was a whole mental struggle for a month, trying to battle that, trying to recruit new people, trying to find a group that I could trust. That was, that was awesome when that worked out, but in the moment wasn't great. I think the biggest mental struggle I've had in my career was when casting picked up and this balance started between school and my career. That's easily one of the biggest parts of my life that I'm thankful for, because it's put a lot of things into perspective. And for me, originally, like, you're coached from a high school freshman that you need to go to a 4-year university and you need to like grind it out. You need to make it out with A's. You need to have this standard for yourself. And I'm not saying you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you are smart enough to go get all A's, you should go get all A's. I mean, academic scholarships, I have one. Like, I'd be screwed if I didn't. So push for that. But for me specifically, I've realized that there are simply some weeks where I need to focus on me, and there are some weeks where I don't. There's weeks where esports UGA comes first. There's weeks where I come first. There's weeks where my fiance comes first. There's weeks where my family comes first. There's weeks where all of that has to come first, and I have to work it out through the week, and I have to sacrifice a class here, or sacrifice the amount of work I put into an assignment here, or sacrifice the amount of conversation I have back home, or however it may work. Life is a balance, and for me specifically, I put my hand in a lot of places. And one of the biggest things my mentors told me was to not do that. So I'm not sitting here saying to defy your mentors, but it is possible. I found a really good balance because of the people surrounding me. My roommates like understand what I do. I can disappear for hours and work on my own stuff, and they don't think I'm dead. I can, like, my parents know that I'm busy and slammed as all get out, and that I'm fighting a lot of battles here on campus for esports. And so they know that if I can't talk for this week or the week after, I can't come home for this month or potentially the next month. Like, they understand that. My fiance, we're long distance. She's at UNG, which is North Georgia. So she's not like long distance. She's like 2 hours up the road.
Yeah.
But still, like, we don't get to see each other all the time. Sometimes we don't see each other for 2-3 weeks, maybe a month. And our relationship, like, I proposed to her and we're together for a reason, is because she works hard. She's going to be in the PT school. Ideally, she applies in the next couple, like, 6 months. So she's really talented. She knows how to put her head down and just grind. And then for me, it's the same way. Like, I know what I got. I think I have a God-given purpose to serve in esports, because of the way my life has set me up here. And so all of that I just said came to me through the last year of sleepless nights, or arguments with this person, or arguments with the school, or arguments with the people around me. Like, nobody said it was easy, and it's not at all. The biggest thing is that, and I live by this, is that no matter what happens, as long as you are healthy and alive, everything's going to be fine. Like, my casting career could die tomorrow. I could be kicked out of UGA tomorrow, and I know no matter what, that something will have me set up for the future. I don't know what everyone believes in religion-wise, but I know that someone's got my back, and I hope that everybody realizes that even if it's a physical person or a entity of some kind, that there is something there to catch you when you fall, and definitely it's had to spring me up more times than none. So that, I think, is the general gist of things. But yeah, I've learned a lot very early in my life.
I mean, yeah, both of us, 2021.
Yeah.
And in a scene that's very sporadic as well. I think a lot of people understand esports. If you're watching this, you probably are in esports. Esports is very sporadic. It's very dynamic. There is not a consistent base for schedule, finances, anything of the sorts. There's rarely ever any consistency in it, only because it's a very brand new industry. Esports has been around for maybe 60 to 70 years, but the esports that we know it as has been around for maybe 20, maybe 25. It is always growing. There's stuff that we are learning, especially in this esports winter, and this could bring your mental health down. This could have an effect on your mindset. You can get burnt out really easily from over pushing yourself. And TJ, we both have dealt with that many times with the burnout. Is there, how have you been able to combat the burnout, come back into the strive of when even you're like, I don't want to do this, but I know sometimes I have to? Is there anything in specific that you do that helps you out with that?
I'm gonna sound religious here, so I'll give a non-religious and a religious answer.
Hmm.
So the easiest one is from a religious standpoint. I know that I can put my anxiety up above me and let
Hmm.
that be handled, and I know that I can just simply play the cards that's in front of me, and it's gonna work out. That's the easiest answer.
Yeah.
And that's just through God and all glory and all that. Now, from a more base level, like physical answer, I know that in esports specifically, I know I'm not the only one struggling. And that goes kind of for mental health in general, is that I know I'm not alone.
Hmm.
And luckily, I've met a lot of people as far west as Cali, some people as far east as, well, I guess I'm already pretty far east. So I guess down the East Coast, in the Midwest, like I've met people all over the nation. I've gotten to make new friends all over the nation who share the same struggles as I do. And, like we have an SEC Discord server. I get to confide in those guys a lot. Those are full grown men who are paid salary directors who treat me like a paid salary director and treat me like an equal. It's relationships like that that I know that if I have a question or I have a struggle that I can go to. I already mentioned PK. I have mentors. And also just the social stuff in general. Like my family, my connection with them has been great. I have a younger brother. And my connection with him is great. Obviously, I'm engaged. So that
Congratulations, by the
connection's
way. I don't
obviously
think we've
great.
said
Thank
that
you.
yet.
Thank you so much. So I know that I've set myself up to where I already mentioned that, like that God's got my back, but real physical people have my back too. And that is the key to life.
Hmm.
So esports or not, that is, you got to have that before you start throwing yourself into all this. Like I had all of those connections before I started becoming this like notable event organizer or this TED speaker or this I don't even know
Collegiate
whatever hat,
Scholastic
like collegiate,
ambassador.
like
Yeah.
representative, pretty much ambassador. Yeah, duh, I was literally an ambassador, still am, I guess. Yeah, literally being the collegiate ambassador for the game that I am today.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's definitely hard if you don't have that and you try to take it on alone, and especially in a field where I haven't made a lot of money. Like
Yeah.
I don't get paid to do what I do at UGA. I don't get paid to work like Bluegrass Boost Battle. I don't get paid to do DreamHack, at least not yet. Maybe soon. But those are events that some of us do for the love of the game, and I'm willing to make sacrifices of $100, $200 when I can make memories that'll last me a lifetime and potentially set my career up to last me a lifetime.
Yeah.
So taking calculated risk and knowing that I got something to fall back on.
Gotcha. I mean, thank you so much for all that as well. I mean, there's been a lot of advice and a lot of information we have had throughout this entire podcast so far. We've already gotten some shout outs throughout PK Graph, Buddy RV, DJ Frap. I mean, there's been so many. Is there anyone else that you want to shout out in specifics?
Yeah, I mean, Todd was a critical part of getting me involved in professional esports and giving me a glimpse into what that side of things was like. So Todd, incredible. I'm trying to think of other direct people themselves. Jacob Van Ryn with NECC, he was a lifesaver for esports at UGA this year. I can't talk a lot about what happened, but NECC covered UGA's back pretty heavily and helped us make sure that we could play and have a place for our students to play whenever all the leagues went out of the free-to-play model, like when NACE and Playfly split and neither one of them went free-to-play.
Yeah.
So NECC stuck their necks out for us. Lindsay and Chris have stuck their necks out for me countless times. Chris is half the reason why I'm speaking at the Scholastic Esports Awards. I put my name in the hat, and he vouched for me. He joked on Twitter like just a few days ago under Sheridan's post that like, yeah, TJ's the GOAT too. So it's just small stuff like that. Those people have made a real difference in my life. CEN as well. They've done
Yeah.
a really good job of covering me and DJ's work at MomoCon and at DreamHack in general. So they've shown a light on us, which has been great. I'm trying to think of other major names. The Southeastern Esports League, Fred and Bepic.
Yeah.
Fred is my boss. Bepic is basically my second boss / mentor. And now finally he's going to be back on the desk as my co-host for SEL 2025.
Let's go.
So that's awesome. That was announced like a month or two ago. I mean, Bepic's been crucial in me as a caster, trying to learn what my day rate should be, trying to learn what my hourly rate should be. Like I straight up asked him, I was like, hey dude, like give me a range of what you think and like where I fit in the mix. So yeah, he's been incredible. And also the vouches from the community in general. So many casters have stuck their neck out for me. Bass from the Past, one of the biggest ones.
Oh yeah.
He stuck his neck out for me like crazy. He's one of the reasons why I wanted to join CRL and start doing the community streams so bad. And whenever I applied, he was probably one of the biggest vouchers behind the scenes. So he's awesome. Kendo is too.
Oh,
Vaudable,
I love Kendo.
also incredible. Yeah, I didn't get the chance to sit down with Vaudable and have a real conversation till like December, November of this past year.
Fair.
And he's also a great like mentor, a great figure in the scene, somebody with years and years of experience. And who's also vouched for me on stream, on the Rocket League mainstream plenty of times too. So love every single one of those guys. I have a lot of names I could go on about and go all day. There's a lot of students I could sit here and name too who are just as talented, if not more talented than me. I'm just blessed to be in the position that I'm in, and hopefully I'll be taking home a trophy at the Esports Awards here in about 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, good luck for that. You are nominated for an award, if I'm not mistaken, Emerging Student Leader, correct?
So Student Leader of the Year.
Yes. I mean, good luck with that one. I know you deserve it.
It won't be easy. Yeah.
It won't, but you do deserve it, man.
There's some good competition in there. Shout out to Muhammad with Apex Collegiate. That right there, that's one of the homies, and he is very talented. So we'll see what happens.
I'm looking at is Miss One.
Oh my god! 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 Are you kidding?
Shut up. Let's see this.
Well, thank you guys all for watching. You can check out DJTJ as well on Twitter and Twitch. His links will be in the description. This is his @ as well. It's going to be in this bottom corner down here. You're going to see it in the middle of the screen right there. All of his information will be in the description as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was the first ever episode of Off the Pitch, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night, everyone.